What's up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with more cycling races, and today of course we have the first monuments of this strange cycling season. Milan San Remo is up today, and as you see at the bottom of the screen we do have a slightly altered profile, making it a bit more difficult and suiting the climbers and the punchers just that little bit more. So this is going to be a super fun race. So here we have the start list for the race, and first thing to note guys is that I'm actually recording this a few days before the race, which does mean the start list isn't complete. I have made a start list kind of provisionally with the riders that have been confirmed, and then I've just added some domestiques, so that's why the start list won't be 100% correct, but we should still have all the main leaders at the race. So I just made one or two changes, so we should now have the most up-to-date start list as close as possible to what will be the real start list at the event. So you can see Alaphilippe and Bennett, we have Pogacar and Christoph as well, with Gaviria, we have Lotto Soudal, Phil Gilbert looking for that fifth and final monument he needs this year at Milan San Remo. We have Van Avermaet and Trentin, Michael Matthews is here, Arnaud Demar, a former winner for FDJ, Bettiol apparently in very good form after his Strada Bianca. The same can certainly be said for Wout van Aert. What a ride by him at Strada just last week. We have Dylan Toons and Colbrelli, Van der Poel of course, one of the big favourites for this race. Peter Sagan here as well, still looking for his first win at Milan San Remo. We have Nizzolo, Valgren. Nizzolo was in very good form earlier in the year. Will be interesting to see how he does. Another former winner in Vincenzo Nibali. Ollie Larsen, I think, came second in last year's race. We have Viviani and Laporte, Valverde, we have Lutsenko and Aramburu. I think Aramburu could be a bit of an underdog this year. I fancy him going quite well at Milan San Remo. We have Quieto, again a former winner of the race. And then you can see the final teams. Buani is here. So I've decided to take Jumbo Visma and Wout van Aert to the race. We'll see if we can get the win with Van Aert. One of the reasons I've chosen them is because their squad is pretty much complete. I think the only rider I'm unsure of is Pascal Encorn. So let's see if we can win it with Van Aert or maybe someone else in the team. We get underway then here in Milan, and sadly for us, Van Aert on a -1 day, so it could be difficult to get the win. That has to be the goal though. Enkhorn and Tolhoek could be options on strong days today. We're not going to go in the break. Let's just sit in the peloton and see what happens with the breakaway. Okay, so taking a look up the road, we do have a bigger break than I anticipated. 10 riders in total. I'm not certain exactly how many of these guys will be at the race, but you can see the 10 riders we have here already. 4 minutes on the main group. Almost 100k into the race, and I have noticed we do have some fairly strong winds, 20 kilometers an hour, and they are going across the stage for the majority of the race today, so definitely something we could take advantage of later in the race. Okay, so we have just entered this climb right here, and obviously this is a new climb for the race that isn't usually ridden, at least it hasn't been in previous years. So I have come to the front to try and make it a harder race, really push it up this climb. We'll probably catch the breakaway. Obviously Van Aert is a very good sprinter, but we need to try and drop the likes of Sam Bennett and Caleb Ewan, because I'm sure those guys will beat us in a mass sprint. So the guys have been on the front for this entire climb, pretty much on 85 the entire way, and no one has been dropped. Starting to see a few of the weaker guys struggling a bit, but I don't think this is going to have a massive effect on the race, sadly. So interesting moments here because the pace remains high. You can see I'm actually pacing on the front now with Rosen and Martins again, but Fausto Masnada has tried an attack up to that breakaway. I don't think it will work for him, but he is trying something here. So I have put our big Norwegian Grøndal Jansen to the front to try and absolutely grind away up this kind of false flat, increasing to over 4% though briefly. You can see it will flatten out a little bit, but it is about 3%. So Jansen is really going to try and hammer the tempo on this climb. We'll put the guys a little bit closer to the front. And hopefully we can drop some riders here and maybe even take advantage of some crosswinds as we have a split. You can see 24 riders to the front. I'm even going to put Pascal Encore now to the front of this group as well, because I want to keep as many riders as possible out the back. Let's try and stay with Grøndal Jansen up to 90 to make sure we're just staying with the big Norwegian over the top. He can now pace at 95 into the downhill. Maybe we can create some splits, as it does seem to come back together, but very stretched out on this downhill and starting to see some splits. So we're just coming off this downhill section. I've put Encorn to the front as well. Martins is here. Maybe he can try and protect some of our riders. We have 60 riders in the main group. These guys are going to have to expand a lot of energy, like Valverde trying to come back on, and hopefully we can just keep them out the back for the remainder of the race. That's the ideal scenario here. 76 riders caught behind. I think most of them will be able to get back on, but hopefully the likes of Gaviria, the pure sprinters, are really going to struggle in this situation. So cresting that little climb, and we do have a downhill run into the final climbs today. You did see briefly we had about 26 riders, back up to 97. Lawrence Narsson towards the back. I thought that might have been Ollie, but hopefully, as I've mentioned, a lot of these guys are struggling. 53 riders behind. We have the likes of Burtonhagen, Christophe Laporte, Dan McClay out the back in Milan San Remo. Okay then, we're just about to enter the penultimate climb on this year's Milan San Remo, of course, the Cipressa, and it will be Team UAE who will lead us into that climb. That big group of about 50 riders are still behind, and we only have Van Aert and Tolhoek left in this race. I think probably we should go all out for Van Aert, but I would like to keep Tolhoek just pretty stable in this group. So I'll put them both up to effort 88, maybe 90, because the pace is so high right now, set by Davide Formolo, Zdenek Stibar as well, right to the front, down to 88 riders. But you can see Pogacar out the back. He won't be winning this year, and plenty of riders getting dropped. So then Tolhoek and Van Aert really struggling right now. I'm going to put them both just to maintain 65 in the downhill. We have 50 riders remaining in the front group this year as we head into the Poggio. Gaviria is out the back, and that is perfect for us. Any other big sprinters, I can't see any for now. Hopefully the likes of Ewan and Bennett out the back as well. So this is going to be a difficult race for us to win at this stage, I think, because the pace does slow, and we do have an attack by Sebastian Langeveld. Also Stefan Kung. I don't really have the power right now to follow, so I'm just going to sit up, and Langeveld and Stefan Kung do go off the front right here. I'm going to rely on other teams, at least try to. Tolhoek can pace maybe 65, that should be fine, or 70, but Langeveld and Stefan Kung off the front as we head into the Poggio. Davide Formolo giving himself up. I guess that could be for Alex Christoph in this group. However, Langeveld and Kung unable to stay off the front. Let's try and come right to the front of this group here on the Poggio with Antoine Tolhoek trying to put Wout van Aert in the perfect position. And I think we have to try something here with Van Aert, in my opinion. Tolhoek up to 93, and this is the moment. Wout van Aert on the attack. Can we try and drop the likes of Bennett and Christoph? We're not the punchiest of riders, but maybe if we just drive up this climb at maybe 90. Van der Poel trying to push away, so is Nibali. Can I jump in Van der Poel's wheel with Van Aert? We're going to have to try use our gel as well, and we have 4 riders just about going off the front. Let's try and continue pushing the tempo as we have 8 riders, but the pace did slow right there. That was my mistake. Sat on Van Aert's wheel, and we do have a split again. We have another split. So 31 riders just about bridging up, but can we drop a few more into the downhill? We have Narsson, Christoph, Van der Poel and Sagan right on our wheel, and to be honest, I don't think we can lead this out with Van Aert. In fact, maybe we can try right now. We are creating a little bit of a split into this downhill section. Van Aert trying to stretch away. We've gone very early. I think we've probably gone too early here, but Van Aert trying to hold on until the line. Narsson trying to chase us down. Sagan coming late. Van Aert trying to hold on into the finish, but Sagan, Christoph or Mathieu van der Poel will be the winner this year. And finally, Peter Sagan will win Milan San Remo. Christoph second, Van der Poel third, Van Aert with a very nice 4th place. We have Narsson in 5th. And then we have some of the sprinters with Caleb Ewan, Phil Gilbert just outside the top 10. But what a finish that was, and what an edition of Milan San Remo. There he is then, King Peter finally on top of the podium in Milan San Remo, come so close on so many occasions, and finally 2020 is his year. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one today. We gave it a go in the final with Van Aert. Sadly, Sagan, Kristoff and Van der Poel did react quite quickly, so did Ollie Narsson, and we couldn't quite get away in the end there. However, I thoroughly enjoyed this race today. Hopefully the real life edition will be just as enjoyable. If you did enjoy this video today, drop a like, always helps the channel out. Subscribe to my channel as well if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.